Hello everyone, this is Cindy Sodelman once again for a brand new top 5 here on Game Show Gumbo. I'm going to go a little personal with this one because I'm talking about one of my favorite reality shows, and that is Hell's Kitchen. I've never missed a season. I pretty much watch almost every episode. And I have the first 14 seasons on DVD, which I absolutely adore. But there's a case where now that we're 22 seasons into the show, the next season's going to air in the fall because of the writer's strike. And soon, looks like to be an Actors and Directors Guild strike. There's going to be more Hell's Kitchen coming because it's non-union. And I want to quickly talk about, well, some of my least favorite seasons of the show. Now, it's not to say the season was bad. It's just that these are the seasons that I would least like to watch again. So getting that out of the way, this is a completely personal list. And here is my personal top 5 worst Hell's Kitchen seasons.
One thing was for sure. They both believed Sparks to be a total
Be an exciting contest which shows that divorced couples can still have fun together, right?
Mythological hero Achilles. C. On the spot dice spin.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Recent Hell's Kitchen has been hit or miss for me. And to start off, the misses is season 16. Now, I'll be honest, I did not like a single cast member of season 16 that much. But the biggest thing why I have 16 on here is changing up a fundamental part of the show. And season 16 started the Black Jacket Challenge, where in this instance, the amount of black jackets given out was now 5. It's now a stagnant 5 because some seasons had 6 black jackets, some seasons had 5, and now it's just a steady 5. And the Black Jacket Challenge is essentially akin to the Fire Making Challenge in Survivor, which I think ruined the show and kind of gave us some bad winners, namely Ben of Heroes, Healers, Hustlers, and then Chris from Survivor Edge of Extinction. Now we talk about the Black Jacket Challenge on Hell's Kitchen. Essentially, it's a series of challenges where if you win these challenges, you get your black jacket. And they normally do this with 6 chefs sometimes. I know in All Stars they did it with 7. And you win the challenge, you get the black jacket, and if you're odd one out, then you're gone in 6th place. Or in some cases, 7th place. Hi, Elise and All Stars. I'm so glad I don't have to deal with you ever again. Anyway, oh, by the way, note, All Stars and Season 9 do not make an appearance on this list. Sure, Elise is grating as all hell and rather bitchy, but those seasons actually turned out okay. However, I will say that telegraphing this, here's number 4. To quote one of my friends, Brian Zane, who does Wrestling with Regret, shout out to his channel, he said that WrestleMania 2000 was a step up from its predecessor. And that is the case with Hell's Kitchen, because Season 16 is a small step up from Season 15. Now, you thought the cast from Season 16 was not good. Season 15 was even worse. Namely, Frank, the military guy who was on the show, who was just very sexist, and belittled a whole bunch of women on the show. And he... there's videos done on him on much better channels than mine. I think Film Insight just did one on Frank, and Film Insight just did one on Frank. on Where Are They Now for Hell's Kitchen, and check that out. Season 15 also gave us the female version of Frank, in my opinion, and that is Jackie, who was a massive piece of work. To the point where it should be noted, this is Christina's first season as a sous chef, because she filled in for Andy because Andy had a dinner service where she was celebrating her wedding. So with Christina filling in, and just look up the Hell's Kitchen, the list on YouTube, and you'll see what I mean. And what also doesn't help is this is the only season to have have one of the villains win. This might be the only one, because Ariel, who won this year, was very demeaning to the cast, and the only reason that she won is because her final opponent kind of blew it pretty badly. And it turned out to be pretty telegraphed throughout the year. So, yeah, not fun in my opinion. But anyway, here's number 3. Time to go back in time to 2009. And with Hell's Kitchen starting off strong with 3 good seasons, we had our first bad season in Season 4. Let's be honest, the cast that year, aside from Petroza and Christina, who wound up winning the season, were just very bland, dull, interchangeable archetypes that we'd see on the show over the years. Now, a lot of people think Elise is bad, might be the most annoying, or, probably the lead cast member of what would be Hell's Bitches, which term started in Season 3. She's got nothing on Jen, and the thing about Elise is Elise can cook, Jen can't. And with the cast being so below the standards of the first 3 seasons, and most of those chefs weren't chefs. They were home cooks or kitchen culinary students. They weren't actual cooks or chefs, or there were some instances where they didn't have any actual kitchen experience. They weren't even chefs at all. I thought they were better than Jen. And to me, what really solidified how bad the season was when Jen came back for Rookies versus Veterans and quit in the second episode. Honestly, she should have been the first boot. And she would have been the first boot if not... Was it? Yeah, Ben came back, who was part of Season 5. I think he came back for... No, that was All-Stars. Ben came back for All-Stars and had to be first boot because of his health. Now I remember correctly, he was first boot because of health. But yeah, not a really good season. And it's one of the seasons where I'll just put on because I'm still working on that top 5 worst Hell's Kitchen Season 4 moments video like I did for the first 3 seasons. The problem is I'm trying to work my way around using footage, and I don't want to get copyright blocked again. It's not fun. But yeah, Season 4, challenges weren't there good at all, and yeah, it was just not a pleasant season to sit through, even though the 2 rightful best chefs made it to the end. And I could say something about Petroza's picking of Jen early for his team, but yeah, it was not great at all. It's only going to get worse. Oof. This season, I'm of the mind that the best amount of episodes for a reality show, or should I say, the right amount of cast members for a reality show is either 16 or 18 if it's done correctly. 16 is the best way to go, as done by Survivor, and a whole... Amazing Race had 8 teams once, I do believe. But think up to 11, and that's fine because of the way it goes. But 16 and 18 are the best numbers. You don't do 20. 20 is too much. Even though I love Survivor, 20 tri-member seasons tend to drag. And season 11, which was the first season to do 20, dragged badly. It was 22 episodes, and some of those were 2-hour shows, which was way too long. And what also didn't help is the cast was not that good. Apart from, like, the only chef there that was worth anything was John Scallion, and he was 3rd place. What also doesn't help is the rest of the cast being so bad. You had the really bad dissension in the men's team. They couldn't win a challenge. And I know there was Dan who, infamous spelling of the word stupid being STOOPID. Although I'm not sure if he meant that as a joke or not. But then you have just having this slog. Like, it wasn't fun to sit through because there was so much drama on the show. And what caps it off for me, though, is what happened with the winner. Now, I know this is supposed to be done about the season itself, but I have to bring up the post game with Janelle. Janelle won season 11. She beat Mary. What happened was she was ready to sign the contract to be the head chef at Gordon Ramsay's new restaurant in Las Vegas. She failed the drug test. Apparently, well, this is a common thing with the restaurant industry. You know, you fall on vices to help cope with the stress of the kitchen. And Gordon Ramsay brought this up on an episode of Kitchen Nightmares from the UK. You either fall into alcohol or drugs or smoking or something pretty bad. And it's really tough to deal with those sort of things. And yeah, it didn't really work for Janelle. She fell into one of those vices, drugs. Failed the drug test, so she had to vacate the position. I think she still got the $250,000, but I'm not quite so sure on that. And yeah, now she's, I don't know where she is now, but it so happened that the prize for winning season 12 was a carryover for season 11 because of what happened with Janelle. These things happen. But it's not the worst season. The worst season belongs to season 8. Now, here's the thing with this season. There were no likable chefs. Like, this is a season that had Nona win, who was kind of an afterthought for most of the season. Like, she was almost an early boot. Like, she almost left in the second or third service. But she wound up winning it, and it didn't really reflect too well on the season. Then you had the runner-up in Russell, who was a massive D-bag throughout the entire run, to where I think what Russell said at the season finale was true, that the chefs actually sabotaged him so that he didn't win. And the rest of the cast wasn't that great either. Trev, who might be the most likable chef of the season, he would come back in Rookies versus Veterans, I do believe, and not do well there. I think. Did he not do well there? Did he make... No, he didn't make Black Jacket, so he didn't do well. The finale was not good at all. Even going back to... I don't even remember who was third place. I know Trev got fourth. I forget who was third. Because Sabrina, who was the who's one of the queen of the Hell's Bitches Club. I think she got 5th or 6th. And I'd still rather have Elise than her. Because at least Elise can handle her business. Sabrina can't. But yeah. And plus the format, it didn't add anything new this year. Like, there was no different challenge. We'd seen all the challenges before in the previous 7 seasons. And I couldn't root for anybody this year. Like, to me, this is the equivalent of Survivor Thailand for Hell's Kitchen. Because the winner... No, I can't say that because Nona was more likable than Brian. And Brian was the ultimate villain who won in Survivor history. Anyway, I just think this season is the worst. Because no likable chefs, tired format, and to be perfectly honest, sometimes I forget it exists, and sometimes that is for the better. That's gonna do it. Thank everybody for watching. You know the usual. If you like this video, thumbs up. Leave a comment on what you think are the worst seasons of Hell's Kitchen. If you want to support the channel, subscribe, and remember to click that bell to get notices about when new videos are going to pop up. Also, become a Patreon backer if you want these videos a week early at patreon.com/GameShowGumbo. I am Cindy Saddleman, and we will see you next time.